Wisdom CSE podcast show. And I think we're going to have a full house today. Randy's already here. I'm already here. Tony's here. And we know that Mike is trying to get on. And we believe, I have not heard anything that Keith wouldn't be here. So Keith probably will come in here in a few minutes. Go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com. You can find out everything about compound stock earnings. You can also sign up for our free Cal report. Comes out every Friday, dated on Saturday, and it's free. It's been published now for 20 years. And inside of that, you're going to find all kinds of emails. You're going to see the answers. There's Micah. You're going to see the answers that our people give them. And all our seminars are on the website. All kinds of information about free seminars and paid seminars and what they cost, and then just the whole thing. So check it out, compoundstockearnings.com. If you want to call in today, the phone number is 214-377-1108. 214-377-1108. Call in, and you won't be on the video part, but everybody can hear your voice, and we can just discuss whatever you want to discuss. You can ask any of these guys whatever you want to ask them about their techniques. So Micah just got in. How you doing, Micah? Yeah, see, Micah's
good. How are you?
There you go. You got hooked up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All set.
A lot of people, Suzanne told me a lot of people were inquiring how to get on the podcast today, coming from the micro moment thing. And so a lot of people see what you guys look like for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, come push yourself together.
Hope it doesn't scare them away.
That's what I said.
There you go. I don't have any great news. All kinds of things are happening out there in the real world. As far as our engineer today, Marcus, who's really continuing battle going about self-driving cars. And I sent you several pieces of information on that this week, Marcus.
Oh yeah, I'm keeping up with it.
Marcus also has a band, and we're going to recruit Micah to sing in his band. What kind of music do y'all play, Marcus?
Let's see. We are an REM tribute band.
What tells that?
REM. You know, you wouldn't know the band REM, but
Yeah, REM is a band. Yeah.
right.
Okay, our the resident music man here, Randy. Yeah.
Doesn't that stand for something machine or something? Or
Well, it's rapid eye movement.
rapid eye. Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm not sure what they meant when they picked it up.
Okay. Well, again, check out our website, compoundstockearnings.com. You can find out everything about CSE. And again, the phone number if you want to call in is 214-377-1108. So let's start with Randy. Randy, what's going on in the conventional world of covered calls and short covered calls, and what are your returns going, running, and give us a lowdown.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Joe, I actually manage two of the Compound Stock Earnings Platinum services, one being the Advanced Charting Platinum and the other being the Covered Call Platinum. And so in the Advanced Charting Platinum, and a Platinum service is weekly coaching with live coaching webinars that you get to see us as we go through teaching, and we actually find actual real positions during that time. And then those are recorded and archived so that you can watch them over and over and over again. So you can get weekly coaching and training. So during the Advanced Charting, which teaches the proprietary charting package that Compound Stock Earnings developed, every Monday morning I have the coaching webinar, and we go through 40 or 50 different charts and select usually one or two that are right in the sweet spot. And the sweet spot is the beginning of the next rising cycle. And this Monday was Nike. And so we entered Nike momentum trade, and about 3 or 4 hours later, actually closed that position out for 3.9% return. So I know the boys are going to talk about how they get out of things in 30 seconds and 40 seconds. So that one, normally the momentum trades, what I call them momentum trades that we find on the Monday morning webinar, it takes a day or two to close out and get that profit as they continue to rise. But Nike, we hit that sweet spot right in the morning, and by the afternoon it was closed out.
You've been doing this so long, and you've had so many clients been with you so long. You know, they're getting old and they're not real fast. I don't think they could do most of the trades that Tony and Mike could do because they're just
Well,
they don't have the dexterity to do it.
that's possible. So we can take the older, slower guys in on the regular momentum trade. So you don't have to react in like 14 seconds. You can take a couple of minutes to go through the movements with your mouse and things like that.
Well, I know
But I also, because I know how to do the trade the moment, I also actually did one just before we came on the air on SPX this morning, and that was a 6% return, and that was only 55 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm getting down into the boys territory there with a 6% return in 55 seconds on SPX.
we'll have to have like a face-off, you know.
Oh no. No, I will not embarrass myself with a face-off with those two young whippersnappers there. They'll be able to get in and out of 2 or 3 trades by the time I'm clicking on one. So that I do the ones that are a little bit slower. The SPX doesn't move quite as fast as like the Apple and the QQQ that they're doing. So I can get in and out of it fairly good. But then on the covered call side, which a covered call is buying a stock and selling a call against it, and the typical compound stock earnings covered call is actually selling an in-the-money call in the near week or the near month to generate income. So it's not speculative. It's not saying, I think it's going to do this. We're selecting it with using the charts to say that it is in a rising cycle. So we're expecting it to go up, but it doesn't have to go up in order to generate that income. And it's for weekly or monthly income generation, not speculation of an increase in the market. It's great when the market goes up with a covered call, but it doesn't have to. And so with the Platinum Covered Call service, which I teach the coaching webinar on Wednesday mornings, I not only support the traditional compound stock earnings covered call with buying a stock and selling a call against it, but we also take it to a new higher level with synthetic calls. And so with the synthetic covered call this week, had a 15.2% return for 5 days on Roku, which I closed out yesterday. And then last Friday, I closed out IWM for a 10% return for 2 days. And so those are the kinds of returns that we're getting. That I have 3 more positions that will close out tomorrow, and all of them are deep in the money right now. Actually, 4 positions that will close out tomorrow, all of which are deep in the money, and those will be in the range of 6 to 8% return each on those. So, of course, things go good when the market's going up. If Chairman Powell will just go in front of Congress, I guess, every day and say how things are slowing and they're looking at doing a rate cut.
Yeah.
The market would probably just keep going up.
It looks like this week you're going to be close to 70-80% return just for the week. Looks like.
Yeah. If you add up all the different positions, yep.
I think these 2 young guys made that today. I'm not real sure.
Yeah, I know. I see all their alerts coming through. There's like 6%, 7%, 12%, 19%, and they do 7 or 8 of them, and then they're almost 100% for the day.
When you subscribe to Randy's service, besides having the availability, I think you pay for some of these seminars, but you subscribe to his service, you get each one of these trades when he's getting ready to make them, when he makes them, when he gets out of them. You get them by email, and so you always know what's going on. You can just mimic his trades, and you're going to pretty much make those same returns. And really, really a neat service, been around for a really long time, as has Randy, and it's really really good. And if you think about it, in 1 week, he's making more than a mutual fund makes in 10 years. I mean, it's just incredible trading, and very relaxed, and not as hectic as the micro moment trading. Now, Keith, who's not here, he's probably traveling. He travels a lot, but he does big credit spreads. This is a totally different technique, requiring different kind of entries and such. But again, it's not real hyper either. And he makes, what would you figure, Randy, on his returns on a weekly basis? He'd make 25-30% a week or something like that.
He does on some. I think last week he said he was up 50 or 60% for the year
Yeah.
on his entire portfolio.
Yeah, which is incredible stuff. Again, totally different, much more relaxed type trading. And again, he sends out his selections. Is when he gets ready to do something, he sends out when he does it. He sends out when he closes it out. But obviously, they're spaced a little further apart because that's the nature of that particular technique. So there's a technique, and under all the CSE things, there's a technique for everybody. And we constantly talk about, and I do this all the time. In fact, we promote that micro moment trading, where if you're young, 25, that's why we kind of got a good example here with Micah. He's been with us long. He was in high school. In fact, his high school, I mentioned this on the broadcast the other day. His high school used to let him out during when we'd have sessions, covered call sessions, and they'd give him a room. He'd take his computer over there and actually attend. So he's finally can drink now, so we can't invite him to any more cruises or anything like that because he doesn't look real responsible from that standpoint. But besides that, we probably couldn't afford the bill. But we'll get to him and Tony here in a minute. But it's the best way. You read articles all the time, and all the time in the editorial section of the Cal Report about go to school, and you run up all this debt, and then you get out of school and you get a job, and you're trying to pay back these loans, and you just don't really have any abilities to save much money. And you can take any of these techniques, take $1,000, $2,000, and just once a week, once a day, whichever technique you're using, you can make all the money you're ever going to need, and you're going to retire at probably 40. If you're 25 and you start, you're probably going to 20 years later, 45, you're going to have millions of dollars. You're not going to have. I was reading one article today. They were a big deal. If you put in $300 a month for 45 years, here you start this off, right? 45 years, you put in $300 a month, and you make $7. If you can get 7%, now not too many people have gotten 7% a year in the last 10 years. Anyhow, 7% a year. You're going to have around $700,000 after 45 years. How long is that going to last you? 45 years later, how long is that going to last you? I know the first house I built was Architectural Digest house on the side of a mountain. All kinds of incredible things, and it was like $25,000. And the first Mercedes I ever bought was complete, had everything on it. Mercedes was $8,000. Now it's probably closer to $110,000. So 300, 400, 500, $700,000 ain't going to do much good. Well, you can end up using any of these techniques. $2,000, 20 years have 15, 20, $30 million. And then you can do them in any IRA, any 401k. 401ks are problematic because somebody's managing it, and they're not going to cover costs. So, okay, so let's get to
we got a YouTube comment. Deshaun says hi.
Oh, okay.
I believe he's one of our. I'm on the YouTube on my phone and looking at the comments. He said hello to everyone.
Okay.
I believe he's a Micro Moment subscriber. So
You
how's it
say-
going, man?
say on the YouTube, what are you talking about?
I'm looking at the YouTube comments on my phone, and Deshaun says hi. He's one of our clients. He says
yeah.
hello.
Yeah, he's a good friend. What I don't understand is I didn't know you could do that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And Darius just said hi too. How's it going, Darius? Good to see you.
Oh, well, good.
Hear from you.
Guys.
When you got a fan club here, they just follow you around and.
No, it's the podcast on my phone.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, technology is amazing.
Yeah. So now these two gentlemen, Tony and Micah, they're micro moment trading. This is trading that they trade probably an hour in the morning. We call that a first session, and then sometimes they'll come back later on, and you're notified when they're coming back. They leave their trading platform, teaching platform up all day until the market closes 3 p.m. Central Time. And you get an email notice to come back. They're coming back now after the first session. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Depends on what the market's doing. And now when they send out their trades, they send out what's called a prep, which they tell you, like Micah does Apple and Tony does QQQ. They say, okay, I'm prepping they give the month and the strike and whether it's going to be a put or a call. And that's what they're looking at. That's what they're now waiting for for the chart to tell them, get into it now, get out of it now. And they're waiting there. And when they say, okay, we're getting into it now. And they say what the price they got. And then hopefully moments later, 15, 20, 30 seconds, a minute, they say, okay, we're getting out now. And they tell you what they're getting out at and what to put in to get out. Many times people make much more than they do because they get really in and out fast. And some people will hang around if the chart, and they're looking at the chart too, the same chart that Mike and Tony are looking at. And if they're going the right direction, they may hang around a little longer and get out with a much higher profit. We don't do that. We're in and out. We're trying to make 2 or 3 or 4% today for the entire day. First session, we had 50. What is day? The 11th. 55.8%, and that was within the market opened at 8:30 Central until about 9:30 to come do the podcast here. So an hour, and 55.8%. The last 9 months, they're up around 1,300%, not counting. This is the 10th of the months. This is the 10th week. For the first 9 weeks, they were up about over 1,300%. So it's fast trading, and it's not for everybody. But the nice thing is, they're trading on Randy's trading and on Keith's trading. You can do it virtually, which means you're not taking any risk. Back in the olden days, we told people don't use more than 10% of your asset or your money that you're going to trade with until you learn this stuff. Well, now you don't need to do that. Now you just virtual trade. They give you 70, 80, 100,000 bucks in a virtual account, not real money, but you trade it exactly and precisely like it's real money. And you can do it. It doesn't cost you anything. And you do it. And when you're good, then you put real money in there. And that's how, both these gentlemen got started. So what words of wisdom do you have, Tony?
Well, the first words of wisdom is, conversely is true. If we tried to compete with Mr. Randy on the covered call arena, he's the grand wizard. So I think we would get fairly beat if we tried to compete on his arena.
Just don't fall asleep. Just don't fall asleep.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, we would get destroyed. So conversely is true. But no, we've had a lot of really good surge of clients and subscribers come in the last 2 weeks. So it's been really good, and we're getting a lot of feedback. We had one client, was it today or yesterday, Joe, emailed in and said that she got, I think it was like a total of 20% return or something like that. So
it was the trades were yesterday. We got the email today, and I read them on our micro moment session. And I think she made like 5 and 7 and then 8.5 or something like that. And it was her first day.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't hear that part. That's amazing.
No. It was first trading day. She had been listening,
Yeah.
And she subscribed to the service. She'd been listening, and whatever. But she was using real money. It wasn't virtual money.
And we get quite a few of those during the week from emails and people chiming into Joe's email there, and he reads them off. But it's been really good. It's been great. We're getting like I said, continual surge in clientele. So a lot of people are seeing how the micro moment works and seeing the success behind it and stuff like that. But the charting is incredible. And I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we got that on our side to make it a little easier. Because honestly, I don't know. Using conventional charting, I don't think this is possible. So I'm glad we got that. But it's been good. And Mike and I try to cover many topics about where we like to sit on the entering on option strikes and stuff like that. We like to get out of the money because it's a little more liquid there, and we cover a lot of bases. At least we try to clarify why we entered at certain points and what we're seeing on the current charting, why we entered it there. To explain that, and I think it's sticking with a lot of people. So it's been really good. I've enjoyed it.
Something just dawned on me when Micah mentioned about the YouTube thing with Deshaun. I've known Deshaun a number of years, good friends, and Micah, Deshaun sings, and he also does comedy. He worked for comedy clubs, but he's
Awesome.
a singer early. So if I could get the two of you with Marcus, we could do a real deal for you.
Yeah.
We'll be backup singers. We'll do the doo-wops and snap our fingers.
Exactly, yeah, and then Deshaun can throw in some comedy work,
Yeah.
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 He just smiled on the comments.
Get your tap shoes too. Don't forget those.
Yep. Actually, on the YouTube comments, there's a ton flooding in here. But there's 3 questions that are basically the same for you and me, Tony. The first one is, can Tony or Micah speak to how they pick an entry price between the bid and ask? They always seem to get in immediately. The second one is, hi guys, just joined the micro moment trading on Monday. You guys are kicking butt. Question, how do you determine the price when entering a trade? You get filled most of the time, so same thing. And then Tony or Micah, I'm assuming you go into a trade at limit and sometimes you get filled at lower price, question mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I could answer that first, we've explained it a couple times, but our entry, the entry price fluctuates very quickly and a lot. And oftentimes we already are talking over each other. So if we're explaining all of our adjustments and every little cent fluctuation, it's just going to be a mess and nobody's going to be able to get into the trade. So all we do on an entry is we go for the entry we want, we adjust it as necessary, and then when we fill, we say, all right, we are in this trade. So on the times it actually doesn't fill, it happens not often, but it happens sometimes. I mean, this is, very quick trading and we'll miss some fills, but we just don't say that because we don't want to clog the airways. So the only entries we say is when we have already filled, not all the adjustments, everything like that. So oftentimes we fill between the bid and the ask, above or below the bid and the ask, depending on which size, and that's just due to the crazy speed of the fluctuations like we saw today. I mean, 3-4 cents in seconds at a time.
And also, another thing we like to mention is, how do we get those advantageous fills? And that's purely the market maker, because we set our limit at the strike price and at the ask price that we want. We set the limit there. And then because the tick is moving so rapidly and it's moving so quickly, because we're catching that initial point of momentum, a lot of times the price that fluctuated so quickly is already moving up so fast that we get a good fill that's below our asking price because that price is moving so quick. So sometimes that happens. Like today, it happened I think 2 times or something like that. So sometimes you get very advantageous on the fills, but we never, like Micah says, we try to lead it sometimes. So maybe, there's sometimes, depending if it's like a fast day, we might, raise it a cent higher than the actual ask price just so we get that fill, because we know on the back end that the momentum's moving so strongly that we're going to get a good amount of cent returns. Okay, we're going to get a good amount of profit. So we try to lead it. What Micah talks about, we try to lead it. But sometimes, but whenever I'm trying to set my fill order, I don't ever really want to go above the ask. But sometimes it's necessary, but most of the time it's not, honestly. But so then if it's moving so quickly that that's the maximum number we want to pay on that option. And so if it moves so fast and it's volatile, we get an advantageous fill and we're getting 1 or 2 cents below our asking price. And so that's what happens. And so, I mean, we don't plan for those, but you can't really sit there and just like, all right, sometimes they just happen, and sometimes they happen on the exit order as well, where set your sell to close at a certain price, and it'll set you, or it'll fill you at a price higher than your closing order, and that's due to just the volatility of the market and stuff like that. And so that's why I like setting those sell to close orders, because that's the minimum you want to get out of the trade. And so pretty much anything after that is fair game. And you can get some really good fills like that. And sometimes you get filled at a price that you can't see on your platform because it's moving so fast. And so those are really good scenarios. But back to that, how do we get fills so quick? Well, sometimes we do get them quick, but sometimes we don't. And we're not going to sit and talk about, all right, I'm going to adjust 2 cents down to get this fill and keep going on about that, because that would just be chaotic.
The key to making these returns that y'all make is getting out of ones that turn bad. And today was a good example. And you got out of 3 or 4 trades, it's zero. Neither a gain nor loss, but you got out of them because the chart indicated the things that turned around after you entered them. And you don't want to sit there and end up with a 10, 20% loss. It's going to offset all the gains. So part of this whole deal is mastering getting out. You look at that chart's telling you what to do.
Yeah.
It's just like Tony was talking about earlier, the charting is all, the most important thing here. But, and I mention this every now and then, most people say, no, you can't make these returns. Well, certainly you make these returns. The difference is what we're doing today, you couldn't do 10 years ago. You couldn't do 5 years ago. You didn't have the trading platforms, commissions were too high. Now you have firms that don't even charge commissions. And you've got fantastic trading platforms, and you've got fantastic charting. Back in the olden days when I was with Merrill Lynch, there was a chart room, and you went in there and you got a chart for a stock, and you took it back to your desk. I mean, it wasn't live. It only got changed maybe twice a week. You didn't have that information, and you certainly didn't have the ability to do options like when I was at Merrill. In the state of Florida, Merrill had one person that could do it, that authorized to do options. One person, that was it. That person had to do options. Anybody wouldn't do them in the whole state. So the whole thing has changed. And this is doable. It's doable now, and it'll be years before the street ever catches up.
And Joe, I'd like to add one more thing to those questions is, we like to remind our subscribers and our clients that this is an educational service first and foremost. And we're trying to teach other people the process of how we exit and enter trades, or enter and exit trades. That is the first and foremost importance. And that's why we have, so many subscribers, because everyone wants to learn what we're doing. And, our alert system is kind of just a caveat, or just an extra benefit to what we're trying to accomplish. But our first goal is to teach our listeners and our subscribers, the hows and the whys of interpreting the data that's on the chart, and when to enter trades and when to get out of trades. And so I think a lot of subscribers get that mixed up. They think, we're on there to help them trade, and we are essentially, but our trades are going to fill at different times, because that's just the nature of the game. I can't fill at a price and have a listener fill at the same exact price. And if it is, then it's not going in the right direction. So the key is to teach and to instruct and to show why and how we're trading. And then we can also, maybe help along the way with some trades and get alerts and essentially trade for the clients. But if you can learn our strategy, you can carry that over for a lifetime. As long as these charts are available, you can carry that over, and that's the first goal. So I would challenge our clients and our subscribers to pay attention to specifically how we're trading and why we're entering at certain points, because then you can take it home and do it for however long you want to do it.
Well, the other key here also is you're trading your own money. You're trading real money. This isn't like where somebody's doing this on paper and they say, now, maybe this will happen in real life. Really trading your own money, so that makes a huge difference also. And that just makes the whole thing work. See, Randy's sitting over there real quiet, but you know what Randy's doing? He's doing trades. I know it, sucker. he's over there doing trades. He's probably sending out these alerts while we're sitting over here. Is that right, Randy?
That's right. That's why you see us kind of looking off to the sides because we're looking at our charts and at our platforms. And yes, during the time when Tony was talking, I did another SPX trade the moment 6%. That was 9 minutes and 34 seconds though.
That was a long.
All right.
But still, it was and that is because of the intraday streaming charts at Compound Stock Earnings. It's like Tony said, you can't just do this on any old chart. It's the proprietary Compound Stock Earnings chart that allows these trades to be entered and exited for profit so quickly because the chart is letting us know when is the time to get in.
Yeah. Michael, let me ask you, go back to this YouTube thing. I didn't think that this thing was broadcast on YouTube until after the session and a few hours later. I didn't think it went on. So it's live on there now?
Yeah, yep, it's live on there now. We got 27 people in the live chat. And, well, remember that day I was having trouble hooking up my audio? So I had to, like, listen online and then try to respond. Didn't work very well because the delay is so bad. But, yeah, I discovered this chat box. And, I mean, if you see it, we got a lot of you probably can't see that, but we got a lot of engagement on here.
I really thought that this thing would go live a couple of hours from now.
Yeah.
Marcus, you didn't tell me.
No, we're yeah, I didn't tell you. This is a live podcast. You're live every time.
In case Tony and Micah don't know, when when Marcus talk, he's just a blob.
Yeah.
Blob. It's vibrating blob.
Face is hidden from us. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that. Gee, that'd be great.
Mike, any questions on there? Or?
Yeah, we got one more question. What trading platform do you use, Micah, to trade your options? TD Ameritrade or E-Trade, etc. Which one would you think has the best advantage as far as brokerage fees, etc.? I use E-Trade, E-Trade Pro personally. It does not have the best fees at all. And TD Ameritrade is another huge platform. Again, not the best fees that you can find. There is a platform on the rise right now. Joe, am I allowed to plug? Is
Sure.
that brand crossover or anything?
No, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead. That's
okay.
Fine.
There's a brand on the rise called Tastyworks. And they do $1, I think it's $1 per contract, maxing out at $10. So in other words, you can go into a $20,000 trade and pay $10 of commissions. That's nothing. Now, on something like maybe a covered call or a long-term position momentum trade that you're going to be in for 3 months, or you're just buying something to hold it, I would recommend something like that. I mean, you can get free trades on Robinhood if you're just buying and holding stocks. I don't know why you would buy and hold stocks, but if you would, there are a lot of really cheap ways to do that. The reason we have to use E-Trade and Thinkorswim is because of execution speed. I would love to pay a max of $10, sometimes less for my trades, but it's just, I'm not going to get filled quickly. I'm not going to get a good price. I'm never going to get overfilled. We see that a lot on our limit when it's moving quick. We'll set a limit and we'll get overfilled by a penny or two. On a day like today, a penny or two can be 5-6%, just as an added bonus. So that's the type of stuff you're not going to see on a platform like Tastyworks because there's just not enough volume on that platform. As they rise and get more popular, if their fees don't go up, that's something to look at. And I haven't really tested it out with size. It's more of an assumption that they wouldn't be able to handle it. But I plan on, going on there and trying it out because if it's that cheap, then why not? But never sacrifice the speed of your executions for a little bit of trade commissions. Because you make an extra cent on a trade and it's going to more than make up for those commissions, and it's just not willing to make that sacrifice. So,
yeah.
A number of firms, the big guys, Merrill Lynch now has a no commission trade. And,
yeah.
Bank of America, which really owns Merrill Lynch, they have the same thing, but it's the same platform. And there's a couple of other big Wall Street firms that have really no commissions at all. You got to have a certain amount of money there, but it's not huge. It's $60,000-$70,000 in the account, and then they allow you to do so many free trades. So the pressure is more and more on the free trade. So that's another advantage of doing this stuff. Ever since we started doing this years ago, the CBOE out of Chicago, which pretty much regulates the options trade, has never done one single thing that was disadvantageous for our clients. Not one single thing. It's always been better. Back in the old days, you only had one expiration a month, the third Friday. Now, many stocks, and there's more that come on every month, have every Friday is an option month. They still have the third Friday, obviously, but they have, and then some of them are even doing 3 options, 3 expirations a week now. The other advantage of what we're doing, what these guys are doing in their own accounts, Keith and Randy and these 2 folks, is that you're trading, you have incredible leverage without borrowing money. You're not using any margin. You have incredible leverage. Instead of buying a stock, now Randy's operation over there, he can buy leaps, which are just a fraction of the cost of the stock, and then sell calls against that leap. You guys are doing, in essence, the same thing. And so you get incredible leverage without borrowing money. And so you can take a little bit of money and turn it into a hell of a lot of money. That's why that example I always gave $1,000, 1% per week, 1% per week. And in 20 years, you're going to have $30 million.
And Joe, I like to piggyback off of what Mike had said real quick. Yeah, don't, like exactly what Mike said. Don't sacrifice, speed for a little bit of commissions. I think those are the 2 best platforms out there right now for executing trades. And the commissions are higher, but I will add, we talked about this on the webinar, they are negotiable. So you can call the platform provider and you can negotiate what you want to pay. And, based on how much capital you put into your account, they'll lower it significantly. And you can get a really good platform, really good execution speeds with, lowered rates and commission rates and stuff like that. And exactly what Micah said, it only takes literally 1 cent to cover all of your commissions. And everything above 1 cent is your profit, is your net gain. So I wouldn't let that, worry, or I wouldn't be too concerned about that aspect, because you can negotiate. And then also we're making it well over 1 cent per trade on micro moment, and I know as well as on covered calls. So that'll cover all the commission costs.
Absolutely. On that front, Deshaun just messaged and he said, I've only been trading for 1 month actively now with E-Trade, called last week to negotiate my commissions. And he went from $7 per trade and 75 cents per contract to $4.95 and 35 cents a contract. So
wow.
He literally just called in a month active trader and cut it in half. So yeah,
contract is amazing. Kudos to you, Deshaun.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy, you have any thoughts on that? Can I interrupt you, Randy, from doing trades?
No, what they're saying is exactly right. Once they see that you're an active trader, they call active traders like if you make 3 trades in a month. So when you're making a couple trades a day, you're a real active trader, and they really want to keep you on board. So they're willing to negotiate those commissions down.
What's interesting about Randy? Randy used to be blind until he started doing covered calls. He recovered his eyesight. The very first time I met him was at a seminar we did in Atlanta, and he came in with a cane and with these dark glasses on. And I thought, oh, hey, we got a blind guy. I said, and so lunch came around, and he went out with a few folks to lunch. Had his cane, he was finding places to walk, and he didn't come back. I thought, oh, he got lost coming back. And so then he finally got back up to the room. He was about an hour, 2 hours late. And I said, what in the world happened? I figured he got lost in the elevator. Somebody pushed the buttons and didn't tell him which floor he was going to. And I come to find out he wasn't blind. He had some kind of eye surgery. and he's totally recovered now. But he got off to a rough start there. But anyhow, I'll make a long
But,
story short.
but we did get stuck in the elevator for 2 hours.
Yeah, like I thought. But it was always a good story, so that's the story I've told.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, Randy was in Atlanta there with a firm, huge firm, been around forever, and he'd been with him forever. It was the only job he ever had when he got out of college. The only job he ever had when he got out of college. And it came around, and they were having a big deal, and getting rid of some people, and big thing. They offered everybody a package, and Randy took his package, and he had all this stock in that company, and the company brought in all these financial geniuses to tell all these people if they could in fact retire. So some of them couldn't retire, a lot of them couldn't retire, but what the actual facts were, hardly any of them could retire. Randy could, because Randy had all this stock. He had never sold a covered call in his life. Started selling covered calls against his stock that he had owned forever and still owns. He's never sold that one share of that stock. Still sells those covered calls. I don't know how many times you substantially increased the value of all that stock, Randy. But Randy never sold it. He was one of the few people out in this huge company, thousands and thousands of people. Only one of the few people that could retire at that time, because he was selling covered calls. He just learned how to do it. And I tell that story. I know I change it sometimes,
Yeah. Well, the thing is the financial planners out there, if you go to a financial planner, they're going to tell you that you can't count on more than about 4% a year return on your money. Well, if you can only generate 4% return on your money for a whole year, you have to have millions of dollars in order to retire to give you a decent amount of income. Well, when you can make 4% in a week, then it makes it a whole lot different picture on how much you need to have to be able to retire on. And so that's where I was able to make, 3 to 5% a month back then. That was back when there was only monthly calls.
Yeah,
Yeah, can make that in a week now. And because I knew how to do the compound sacrament techniques, that gave me the ability to take that early retirement. And that was over 10 years ago. So I've been really happy along the way to be able to control my own days instead of having somebody else control.
How's your eyesight doing?
Yeah, well, you can see I just wear reading glasses because as you get older and older, those guys will find out when they turn about 45 or so. But your eyes don't focus as well, so I have to wear reading glasses. But other than that, I don't wear glasses just to run around.
I'm so excited about this YouTube thing and these messages. That's really cool.
Yeah, we got some more if you want to hear them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
From Ben. It seems like a large part of the micro moment success is speed and skill of last minute entry price edits and having sell orders immediately ready to go, which is hard to learn without seeing it. And then a couple people agreed with him. Might be good to take 15 minutes a day to actually show Tony or Mike a screen to watch them actually do a couple of trades. Could be in a paper trading account or an example account to maintain privacy. And then a couple of people said they would love to see that.
I agree. I think that would be good.
I think there's
technically you pull up that on that thing we're doing when we do the micro moment sessions. Can you pull up a virtual trading screen?
It would have to be probably an after hours or after our first session, more of like a webinar type setup, because we can't display the charts and our platform because they're on different monitors. And then if we do display our platform, you can't see the charts. And a lot of people don't actually have the charts. They just watch ours. So we could probably do something afterwards to just explain, show our actual physical setup, where all the portions of our screen are placed.
There you go. That's it. See?
Hello.
There we go.
I can't get in the front door.
Randy, you're
I've been trying and trying.
What?
And he's been letting me in.
Okay, somebody needs to get in the front door somewhere.
Oh, I bet that's Sue Ann. Who knows? Yeah.
there you go.
Well, let's do that. Marcus, could we do that on this this setup we got here?
Say that again. What's the question?
where Micah could pull up a trading screen, a virtual trading screen, and show how he enters and exits trades. Him or Tony, either one.
Yeah.
We can't do it on the system we use for the sessions now, which we do every morning. It just doesn't work. But could we do it on this?
I think we could look at it. I mean, this is really more just about podcasting. I mean, we could look at it.
We can do it or go to webinar. It just shows our screen, so whatever we want to have on there, we can do.
Well,
Right, I think it'd be easier with go to webinar. Yeah.
what we can do on the webinar is, if you have a Mac, if you use a Mac, which I do, you can just scroll to the next page. So we can look at the chart. I can scroll to the next page, and then that page will have the trading platform, and in the simulation mode, and we can pull up the prep, take a look at it, and then also set the sell to close on there, and wait for it to be filled. So we could possibly do that. Just we have to flip between the screens. So
Okay, so that's doable. So what we could do is we wouldn't do it every day, maybe 1 or 2 days a week after the first session. Spend a few minutes entering a couple trades. People can see how you do it on a virtual platform.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten a lot of questions about it, and he's right. It is, that makes a huge portion of it, because if you're only making 2 or 3 cents, that can be completely altered by a spread, by a late fill or an early fill or a beneficial fill. Little things like that can really make a huge difference in what we're doing. So
I've never heard I've been around doing this a lot longer than you. What the hell a beneficial fill is? What's that? You said a late fill, and an early fill, and a beneficial fill.
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of what we talked about earlier, where you can, they have the bid and ask, say it's like a 1 cent spread. You will get filled below the bid price, which is very advantageous because then you're immediately in a profit scenario. And so say, for instance, the ask price right now in Q at 192.5 on the put side is 40 cents. The bid is 39 cents. I'll go in on the trade, and then might fill me at 37 cents. So I'm already on a plus one profit because you sell at the bid. So that sometimes that occurs, and that's what we talk about, a beneficial fill. And that happens a lot when there's a lot of volatility, and so that does occur. But sometimes it fills up the ask, sometimes it fills up the bid. So
yeah,
and
okay, cool.
Yeah, everybody's saying they're really liking that idea. They're really excited about it. So that'd be awesome.
The next couple of days, we'll work we'll try it out. Take 1 day, and we'll do that. After the regular session, and spend what wouldn't take maybe 15 minutes or so, something like that.
Yeah. Like we said, it just couldn't be during the opening session because a lot of people do watch our charts and they don't have their own chart subscription. So to cut them off from that would be to take away their trading, and we don't want to do that. But
honestly, it's still the number one priority. And for all those people that want to see us, fill the trade and stuff like that. Honestly, the reason why we're able to prep the trade and set the sell to close is because our experience of watching the charts. And because of our experiencing watching the charts, we can sort of forecast and predict how much we can put the sell to close order on, like 2 or 3, 4, 5 cents, whatever. And also by watching the charts, we know when to enter. So I would say 90% of the success rate of our trades is knowing how to properly interpret the charting. And then 10%, the remaining 10% is just, how to effectively enter and fill the orders and exit the orders is, I'd say 10 to 15% of the game. But 85 to 90% is interpreting those E-lines and interpreting the tick and interpreting what the chart is showing us. And if you can grasp the concepts of the interpretations, the fills are essentially makes it a lot easier. But since our subscribers haven't really honed in their skill on interpreting the charts, the fills are a little more difficult. So as you interpret better, as you trade better, interpreting the charts data, the fills become easier because you're able to predict,
Well, now Randy does a charting course, but now Randy, there's a big difference between the way you interpret the charts when you're doing micro moment trading here versus when you're doing covered calls. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, they're different charts. The micro moment charts are the intraday streaming charts, and those are charts that are constantly changing, basically tick by tick by tick. For the cover call entry and the momentum trade entry with the advanced chart, it's a different chart that moves more slowly, and so it has a lot more information on the advanced chart. There's 21 different technical indicators that are all rolled into the chart, and you can spend more time analyzing it because the position doesn't come and go in 2 or 3 seconds. Where the micro moment, the intraday streaming chart, that's a chart that's just constantly changing, and you learn how to read that as well. And as Tony said, you can see it setting up that it says, okay, this is the top, it's getting ready to go down, or this is the bottom, it's getting ready to go up, so that you know which direction that it's getting ready to go. And it doesn't take a lot to learn how to read them. It takes coaching and training, and then you'll increase your speed on inputting your orders by virtual trading on your platform and practice it. And it takes a little practice. Just like if you're going to go out and play golf, you don't just go the first day and start playing. You go out and practice hitting some golf balls on the driving range. And the same thing is you virtual trade, learning how to enter the order, how to change the order, how to, once it fills, you put in another order to close it out. And it's a skill that can be easily learned.
You know what this is calling for, don't you? You know what this is calling for is a cruise.
A cruise. There you go. There you go.
I completely agree. That's a great idea.
That's where we first met on a cruise. Mike, I asked them on your YouTube people there if they'd like to go on a cruise. But what we did is we take a week's cruise, and we really enjoy the cruise. Then certain hours of the day we'll have seminars. Randy gives a seminar on his stuff, and Keith would, and then you guys would be doing this, and they're really great. They're a lot of fun, and people really love them. We had one in the Bahamas, one in the Caribbean, 7 days in the Caribbean. I think 3 or 4 days in the Bahamas. Then we've been over and done the over in Europe, the Mediterranean out of Barcelona, beautiful cruise. And then we've done a cruise in Hawaii. So we stop at each island, and it's on the Pride of America, I think, ship, which is the only U.S. registered ship, passenger ship in existence. It's all U.S. crew, and it was fantastic. The crew was fantastic. Huge ship. Anyhow, so this kind of got the making for one of those. So
everybody's agreeing with you for sure.
Yep.
Now, do you agree to sing? I mean, now
Deshaun says he'll have his doo-wop ready.
There you go. Micah came in second on that Caribbean cruise in the what do you call it? Sing karaoke. He came in second. I mean, the guy's out in that. He was just a young guy then, That's dope. He can sing over songs. So, well, it's been a great day. We've never had one, and we're going to start lengthening these because this has been fun. And now people can ask questions. Before, very few people wanted to call into the number. I can understand why, but this will work out great. And we'll really publicize this now with the YouTube, and we've never said anything about this ability for people to ask questions during this via the YouTube thing. So.
Yeah, I would say I would still recommend calling in because there's a lot of these that are multiple segments separated by other questions, and if we're on the phone with you, we can answer your question and then you can follow up and we can clarify. So I would still recommend calling in over commenting on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I don't think I even hit all these, but yeah, it's a good method for sure.
We'll call it today. We're on here an hour. Let's go to compoundsstockearnings.com, compoundsstockearnings. You can see everything we do, what things cost, everything. www.compoundsstockearnings.com. And it's been great. It's been good. And I guess we'll see Micah and Tony in the morning for regular session. And if you want to sign up for their sessions, we send out a letter every single day with their returns. Always sign up at Randy's all his various seminars at our website, compoundsstockearnings.com. Thank you guys. We appreciate your time. So we'll see everybody else tomorrow.
Yep, and everybody.
Have a good weekend.